September is a bonus. Harvest is starting in the deep south, and we have 0 bushels of soybeans on the books to be sold to China for this current crop that's about to come out in the field.
What's up, everyone? It's been a minute since my last upload, and I know some of you noticed had to take down a couple of videos. Yeah, free speech in America is basically on trial right now, and I've been working behind the scenes to make sure this community stays safe. But we're back, stronger than ever, and today's video, oh, buckle up, because it's a wild one. We're talking about Maga soybean farmers, folks. Yes, those same salt-of-the-earth, flag-waving, red hat-wearing folks who love to preach about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, turns out it's FAFO season on the farm, because these guys are about to learn what it really feels like when the leopard you voted for decides your face looks like dinner. Now here's the kicker. This isn't just some small-town FAFO story. This is bigger. This is about how American farmland, the lifeblood of rural America, is slowly being taken away, all while the very people most affected keep cheering on the guy holding the knife. MAGA farmers thought Trump's trade war with China was a genius move. They clapped, they hollered, they said, finally, someone's sticking it to Beijing. But here's the thing. China wasn't the one who blinked. China just said, okay, bet. You think you can blackmail us? Guess what? We don't actually need you like that. We'll go buy our soybeans from Brazil. And just like that, poof, the American soybean market got capped. Imagine being so dedicated to your cult leader that you literally cheer for policies designed to shoot yourself in the foot. It's like standing in a burning house yelling, "This is fine," while roasting marshmallows on the flames. MAGA farmers voted to make America great again, but all they really did was make Brazil great again. Congratulations, guys. You turned your number one customer into your competitor's best friend. Now, here's the hilarious, not funny haha, but funny, tragic part. These same farmers are now begging for help. Yep, bootstraps no longer exist, apparently. They want the government to step in and save them. They want bailouts, subsidies, assistance programs, all the things they mocked other Americans for needing. You need healthcare? Nah, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You need food stamps to survive? Nah, stop being lazy. But when it's their soybeans rotting in silos and their bank accounts running dry, suddenly the same government they hate is supposed to swoop in like Superman. It's peak irony. It's like marrying a crocodile and then acting shocked when it eats your dog. The leopard doesn't change its spots, folks. It just gets hungrier. And here's what blows my mind. A lot of these farmers.
All right, so in this video we are literally seeing the soybeans farmers in America. They're suffering because China turned their back on America and decided to buy produce from other countries like Brazil and of course other parts of the world. Like right now they're getting beef instead of from America, they're getting beef from Australia. Soybeans they're getting from Brazil instead of America. So right now farmers in America are literally suffering because they're not getting any orders from China, and this is all as a result of the tariff war that happened between America and China when there was that increase of tariff back and forth. So literally China, they say, you know what, we can do without American produce, we can just do other business with other countries instead of forcing ourselves in America. So right now farmers are complaining, they're literally regretting how they voted because they literally voted against their best interest at heart. So farmers right now they're losing their farms because because of the mortgages they cannot pay back. They don't have any workers because of the new policies that are being implemented by the current administration, where immigrants there's a crackdown on immigration. So right now immigrants who don't have papers they are running away, and those majority of those immigrants were the workforce on those farms. So there's that ripple effect that right now the farmers in America are experiencing, and they're literally complaining and they're saying they wish they could have turned back time, you know, and just give a pause and just decide which is the best interest for them. So this is what they call FAFO season. This is what they call karma is a bitch. This is when they say you need to be careful what you vote for. Who is to blame? What's going to happen to the American farmers? Is the government coming to...
Still won't put the blame where it act brand new now. You don't get to throw your hands up like some innocent bystander. You loaded the gun, handed it to Trump, and then stood there shocked when he shot your crops in the foot.
Hello from China. So I'm in a grocery store right now, and I wanted to show you how the American tariffs are affecting Chinese customers. So I'm trying to get some beef for dinner tonight, and I saw this. So what used to be here is American beef, but now, as you can see, it says Australian beef. And I did look around. I couldn't find one single tag of beef from America. So I guess China just stopped buying beef from America, and it went straight to Australia. So the whole idea that China is hurting because of the American tariffs
first guy we heard talking about tariffs. He said it was his duty as a father, as the head of his family.
So there's this big uproar that is happening in America right now. Farmers are literally, giving interviews. They're saying the government need to step in to help them out of this crisis that they're experiencing right now. Some Americans are sympathizing with them. Some other Americans, they're literally criticizing them, saying, you know what, you guys voted for this current administration, and now you vote against what was best for you. Now you should lie in the choices that you make. What do you think about this video? Let me know your thoughts. But the reality is, a lot of farmers right now in America, they are in dire need of help. Right now, farmers, they're not getting any orders whatsoever. Can you imagine you have planned this, you have done this whole plantation, it's ready, you're looking for customers and you're not getting any customer whatsoever. So basically that's what's happening right now. So the produce on those farms, they are getting rotten. They're getting spoiled. There are no buyers, there are no customers, because you're being told the biggest trader of soybeans was China from America. The biggest traders of meat it was China from buying meat from America. So right now, those farmers literally they're experiencing the repercussions. So as a result of not getting customers, what's going to happen to them? They're not able to pay they're not able to pay workers. They're not able to pay mortgages. They're not able to pay their bills. And as a result of that, you're being told there are so many foreclosures happening right now in America. Farmers are losing their farms. Farmers are literally going bankrupt. You're being told there's a farm of 100 years old. Right now, it has gone through foreclosure. They have literally lost that farm. You're being told farmers right now, they are crying. They are literally having a meltdown where they're wondering, where did they go wrong? First of all, also they don't have any workers whatsoever. Workers are running away, and you're being told the majority of the workforce that used to work on those farms, they were immigrants, and those immigrants didn't have any papers whatsoever. And at this moment, as we speak, the current administration, literally one of the policies they went and vie on in the campaigning, they say they're going to root out illegal immigrants in America. So right now, immigrants, workers who are in America with no papers, they are running away from working those farms. And most of these farms, you're being told, they are found in the southern states of America, which literally is around, they call them red states. They usually vote Republican. Those are the Maga states. And those are the areas where those farmers are looking for workers. And workers are literally running away. They don't show up in those farms. So what's going to happen? If you don't have workers to work in those big farms, what's going to happen? If they know workers, nothing can happen in those farms. So the farmers right now, they're suffering. I don't know who's going to come out to help them, because right now, even the government right now, they are not even putting up bailouts as the way the policies. Right now, you're being told that big, beautiful bill that was passed, it has budget cuts. They're not implementing those bailout as people anticipated, the farmers anticipated. So it's like farmers feel like they have been left behind, they've been forgotten by the government, and they're feeling the effect, and they're complaining, and they're saying the government needs to step in. Do you agree? Does the government need to step in? What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think about this video. But one thing for sure, farmers in America, they voted against their best interest at heart, and this is what they call FAFO season continuing. What's going to happen in future? Only time will tell. But the reality is, China is not turning back. They are literally buying meat, soybeans from other parts of the world. What's going to happen next? Who knows? Let me know, and please subscribe to my channel.